What's up guys, Ryan here from Mud Gunner, and today I have a pretty cool rifle to show you, but first I kind of wanted to show off my new shirt. So I finally got a logo made and I'm really happy with it. So if you didn't know, my channel is called Mud Gunner because I do mud runs, I shoot guns, I own rattlesnakes, so that's why I kind of went with the rattlesnake as the main logo. But yeah, I'm really happy with the way it came out. I have it in multiple colors right now. At some point I would like to be able to ship them. Right now it is just going to be local to Arizona, and I do want to say thank you to everyone that's bought one so far. But yeah, today I want to focus on this. This is a Dignity Defense 16-inch rifle. They are a local Arizona company and they've been making some pretty good products these past couple of years. I do want to point out that they did provide this rifle for me. I requested it last year around August time because I needed it for the tactical games in October. And I've built, I'd say I've built like a relationship with them as a company. So just take that into account. I'm going to try to be unbiased, but I do like this rifle. I haven't had any issues with it. The tactical games was pretty hard on the rifle too. It's really dirty. I haven't cleaned it since October. And October was my 9th shooting trip, the second day of the tactical games. Today is the 10th shooting trip, and the start of today, it's at 878 rounds. So we have to fire 122 rounds to get to that 1,000 round mark. I'm not torture testing the gun. It did get a little beat up during the event, so I don't want to like throw it on the ground or anything like that for you guys. It's like an honest review of if you bought this gun and you put it through some paces, how would it work? And so far it's worked really well. So I'll kind of go over some of the features of this gun with you guys. I do want to say that it ships with Magpul furniture. I did change that out for B5 grip and a Voltor stock. Originally I wanted a B5 stock in the black multicam, but I couldn't find it because I did a Blue Force Gear black multicam sling, the black multicam grip from B5, and I wanted the stock, but I couldn't find it. So I did, the only thing I've changed on the rifle is the stock and the grip. Everything else is factory other than my accessories that I put on it. But the guns, they're a billet AR-15. So it's 70-75 T6 aircraft grade aluminum. It's really sturdy. You're not gonna have any issues with it. So you have the built-in trigger guard, and it's a really solid upper and lower combo along with the rail. It is M-LOK, and they do this gun in a few different barrel lengths. I just wanted the 16-inch for the event that I was doing. So from the factory, you're gonna get a CMC single stage 3.5 pound trigger. It's a very nice trigger. You'll get a Radian 45-degree ambi safety selector and a Radian charging handle. It's the Raptor Lite. So it's ambidextrous other than obviously the ejection port, but it works really well. And then as far as my optic goes, I went with a Vortex Strike Eagle 1:8, and then it's on an American Defense quick detach high mount. I am running Magpul MBUS Pro offset sights, and then my Blue Force Gear sling. I also have a SLR barricade stop, and that was really nice to have against the tactical games because you're bracing up against like wooden posts or metal posts a couple times. So that was a nice feature. But yeah, this gun, it's pretty dirty. It has 878 rounds through it. I haven't cleaned it since the tactical games. I shot it, I cleaned it before the tactical games just to make sure it's gonna be fine for it. I will say, I think people should clean their guns more often. You could definitely run a gun dirty, but they run better if they're clean. I haven't cleaned it since October though. So it is dirty right this second. After today, it's gonna get a good cleaning. So I have a steel target here at like 50 yards. I'm gonna shoot a couple mags with that, and then we're gonna go up on this hill. If you wanna point up here, we're gonna go up on this hill and shoot to that hill over there. And we have steel targets. I want to say it's at like 350 to 400 yards. We don't have much further than that. But yeah, the gun's more than capable of doing it, but I just figured I'd show it to you guys. So my gun shipped with a Lancer mag. They might not all ship with Lancer mags in the future, but Lancers are good, and I think they're going to be using OK Industry mags. Those are great as well. But I'm using Lancers, and I've had no issues with these so far. All right. Very smooth recoil impulse, ejecting in the right pattern, and it's a very easy gun to pull up. So some billet guns, they weigh quite a bit. This gun to me does not weigh any more than like a standard forged AR. It feels really comfortable. I like the size of the rail. I don't have huge hands, but the rail I would say is a good size for people with small hands, medium or large. It shoots really nice. That CMC trigger is amazing. This is my first AR with the CMC trigger, and so far I'm very impressed. Again, it's a 3.5 pound single stage flat trigger, and I have come to really like it. one thing I have a kind of complaint about, so it's the sling. So like I said, this is a Blue Force Gear sling. I'm not a fan of this knob on 1 power. I kind of see it in my sight picture, but I've grown to get used to it. But that's my one complaint with the current setup, is I don't like this knob. But the gun shoots good. The sling is really comfortable. I was running it with this plate carrier and the tactical games. This is a Velocity Systems plate carrier. I'm running AR500 steel in there because there's a weight limit for the tactical games. And yeah, the plate carrier was nice. I ran this belt setup. This is a G-code belt setup with the Safariland ALS holster, and I ran this Shadow Systems. So this is my whole setup for the tactical games, and it all worked really well. I had no issues with the gun, with any of the equipment, and yeah, the only issue I had was getting gas because it was a hard competition. I highly recommend something like that if you like to be active and shoot. It is a great way to combine both skills and really test your gear. I saw slings break, I saw guns break, I saw everything break, and I felt fortunate that none of my gear failed. I did not come in first, I came in 4th in my division, but gear was amazing. So it was just on me to do better. All right, we'll shoot a couple more rounds for you guys. Flawless. All right, so now we're gonna shoot from this hill over there, get some long range shooting in. I'll crank it to 8 and yeah, we'll see how that goes. All right, so we're shooting from this hilltop over here to over there. It's probably between 300 to 350 yards, and we have 3 steel targets in like the middle of the hill. So you can't see them from here, but I have the Vortex Strike Eagle, and it's a it's an 8 power, so it'll make it a little bit easier to see the target.
Can you see the white one?
So it's not the most conventional shooting spot, but this is pretty comfortable. I got this rock as my support.
It's pushing on the bottom of the bolt at that point.
Oh.
If you were to take one out, it would be fine.
Ouch.
Oh, okay.
You go max capacity like that. Yeah, that's
Need some parts.
Yeah.
Oh.
Can you find the yellow
Hello.
one? Okay.
Hello.
Sorry. Oh no, I had a gun that did that.
He said, "Oh no."
Someone looked at it and they're like,
Yeah, that's
dangerous.
really easy with this gun. So having the 16-inch barrel and then an 8-power scope makes it really nice.
All right, you guys ready?
Yep.
They're waiting on us.
Take it out.
He's flying a little too close. So you might ask, what makes this any better than any other brand's gun? This is the Daniel Defense. They are another high-end gun. I will say, I don't think any manufacturer is the one-all, be-all AR. Like, there's a lot of great companies doing amazing things, and it's just what do you want? So, one, I live in Arizona. I think it's really cool to represent Arizona companies. But on a side note, like, these guns are priced about the same. So this is a Daniel Defense V11. This is the Dignity Defense DB4. They're priced about the same, but you get a little bit better features from the Dignity. So again, it's a billet upper and lower, so that's going to be built a little bit stronger than the forged Daniel Defense. It also comes with the CMC trigger, which is the 3.5 pound. They come with a mil-spec trigger. I want to say they're like 6 or 7 pounds. They also come with a standard safety selector, so it's your 90 degree, and a standard charging handle. Now they come with a Daniel Defense charging handle. This one came with a plain Jane charging handle, and I replaced it with the Radian. But other than that, it's a basic trigger, safety selector, and charging handle. And this comes with the nice CMC trigger and the Radian 45 degree safety selector and the ambi charging handle. So I do like that you get those features out of the box, because a lot of people, if you're spending $1,500 to $1,800 on a rifle, you don't want to replace the trigger, the charging handle, the safety selector, stuff like that. It's nice when it all comes in one gun. So that is the perks of buying a Dignity Defense, is you get all the nice upgrades right off the bat. All you got to do is throw your optic, your sling, if you want a light on there, throw it on there and you're ready to go. This, you have to do all that, plus if you want a nice high-end trigger, you got to buy it. And not a lot of high-end guns come with the fancy triggers, so that is a good selling point on the Dignity Defense, and I think that is a good feature to have on a lot of rifles. I don't know if it'll pick up how dirty this gun is. I mean, it's not terrible, but there's a lot of sand and dirt in on the bolt carrier group and around the gun, because this thing got drugged through the dirt at the tactical games. This Vortex was brand new. It's all dinged up. Honestly, the receiver got super scratched, but then it cleaned off really well. So there's no like permanent scratches in the receiver. There is some dings up here under the rail where I had it braced up against barricades, but other than that, the finish is holding up really nice, so I'm impressed with that. So yeah, this gun's a little dirty, in case you couldn't tell, but it's oiled. And I would say lack of oil is gonna kill it more than the dirt will, because metal rubbing against metal, if you don't have oil, it's just not gonna cycle properly. So the one thing I did was I made sure I oiled it well, but other than that, it's handling all this dirt pretty good. And yeah, the finish is holding up strong. So the receiver got scratched up a lot right here at the tactical games, but when I got home, I just wiped it off and it all went away. And even the scope, I want to point out that this Vortex Strike Eagle 1-8 held up really well. It's not an expensive scope, but it was doing things that $2,000 optics were doing at the tactical games as well. So just overall, a really good setup, and I'm happy with it. And like I said, the only thing I changed was the stock and the grip. And that was just because I wanted them to all be black multicam. I just couldn't find the black multicam stock. But this stock was brand new, and that thing got dinged up at the tactical games as well. All right, so we're 980 rounds in, 20 rounds to go to 1,000. I feel like I've shown you guys enough regular shooting, so I'm gonna try something that I've never really tried. We're gonna try to bump fire this thing. Or we're gonna shoot it fast from the hip, if that makes sense. So 20 rounds, I don't know how this will go because I've never really tried it. Let me actually take this off because I feel like this is gonna be on my way. All right, so 20 rounds from the hip. That's pretty cool. It ran good. But yeah, not very accurate, but it looks cool for the video. Maybe, we'll see. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. That's 1,000 rounds to the gun. No malfunctions, no feeding issues, no anything really. It's just a solid gun, and I would expect nothing less from Dignity Defense. So thank you guys for watching.